Welcome. So glad you are here with us tonight. I woke up this morning. I feel great, but my voice is just not strong. So y'all have to listen good. Maybe that'll make you be more attentive because you have to listen well. Because I don't have my big, strong, normal voice tonight. But I'm super excited about what we're training on. Where are you guys joining us from? Would love to know. I know we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I don't use Twitch much, but I hear it's a up and coming thing, so we went ahead and stuck it on Twitch too. For those of you that want to join from Twitch, try it, you might like it. Well, tonight is all about relational capital, all about the memory jogger, all about getting organized with what I believe is the greatest asset that each of us own. It's the most important skill for you to learn to build your Juice Plus business, and we're going to dive right in. So let me just move to this first slide for us tonight is going to be, well, it is not cooperating. Hold on one second, and we will be live. There we go. So we're going to talk about building your first memory jogger, and don't get upset if you've already got one. You're like, well, I didn't know he was talking about building the first one. Now we're talking about building it right and building it with resiliency and understanding that it's a dynamic document, not a static document. How many of you, I want to hear just in the sidebar here in the chats, how many of you made a memory jogger when you first got started? Thumbs up. Put a Y in there or something. So how many of you have made one at some point in time in the past when you got started or something? Okay, so let's see who's all putting in there. Let's see. Okay, a few people are commenting here. All right, so how many of you have an active and current memory jogger that you updated since the 1st of April? You've done something to update that document. Okay, it's kind of I've got a delay here on the updates. I'm just going to keep moving along with you guys. So when I first got started in the business, when Lori and I got started, there was one thing that I learned about this whole relational capital thing, and that was that and that was that if I was going to learn how to manage the most important thing in this business, it really was a little bit about stewardship. I'm going to use some principles I've learned from the Bible and from Scripture tonight, but it's not a religious course. It's just principles you've learned. So stewardship, we all know that we need to be good stewards over our money. Now, whether you do a good job of it or not, you're conscious and aware that you need to spend less than you make. You got to pay taxes. Maybe you're trying to save for retirement. You're going to tithe or give to those that are less fortunate than you are. So you're a steward over your money. And then we're all also stewards over our time. Calendars, time systems, apps. We all try and manage our time well. It's the only thing we all have the same amount of, actually. And then the last thing is, and I learned this probably the hard way, is I had to learn how to invest or be a steward over my relational capital. Let's kind of define what that is. The first time somebody explained it to me, I remember them saying, your son needs a piece of furniture repaired. And he calls you, and because you were kind in the past to somebody whose son owns a furniture repair business, you had that relational capital in your bank account to give that information and share that relational asset with your son to help him accomplish something. That's relational capital. We all have different amounts of it for sure. But we've got to learn how to invest that. My favorite thing, and you've heard me say this before, is that when someone gets in my business or joins our business, I want them to trust me enough for them to let me be their people investment advisor. They're going to trust me with what I believe is their greatest asset, their relational capital, and we're going to go invest that together. And that's what tonight's all about. Not just having a memory jogger, but having a memory jogger that's dynamic, not static, and having a memory jogger that you've got accountability and your team working on it with you, okay? So, I believe the key to a successful business is learning to leverage relational capital. I got in this business so that I could stop trading hours for dollars at some point in time in the future. I did not want to invest my entire life where I would swap my hours to get a paycheck. That's why I wrote the book I wrote. It's called Make a Life, Not Just a Living. Is I believe that's so important. And the best way to do that is to leverage your relational capital. You know, J. Paul Getty, who some of you younger people may not know who he is, but back in the Industrial Revolution, he was one of the richest men in the world. And somebody asked him, would you rather have 1%, 100% of what you could do, because you know you could get it done and you could make it happen, or would you rather have 1% of what 100 people could do? Hands down, 1% of what 100 people could do. He didn't want to trade hours for dollars either, okay? So that's what relational capital does for us. We have to learn how to invest it. Now, you're going to freak out. Don't freak. It says step 1, your 300 list. So Lori and I were 23 and 22 when we got started. And we did not know a lot of people yet. We were early in our careers. Basically, we'd been students our entire life. And they told us to make a list of 300 names. And we got extremely intimidated. So don't get intimidated, but let me go ahead and tell you how this unfolded for Lori and I before we dive into the memory jogger. So we didn't have digital resources like we have today. So when you signed up, and it is easier back then than it was today because I only had to pay $40 for my starter kit. In 36 years, it's gone up $12. You have to pay $52 now. But I paid $40 and I was going to get a physical box of printed material. But my sponsor was smart. They wouldn't give me my starter kit until I gave them my memory jogger. They didn't want me to get started and go spin my wheels, not know what I was doing. So they withheld my starter kit until I shared my memory jogger with them. Now back then we didn't have online sharing collaborative platforms. I just had to make a copy and share it with them. Excuse me. I think actually what I did was I probably put it in the mail. That's probably how I did it back then. So we had to do that, and they told us to make a list of 300 names, and so we were naive enough. We were excited enough that this was going to allow Lori to stay at home, quit her job, and when we had kids, she'd be at home. But we didn't know what we were doing. We had no clue. And when they told us to make a list of 300 names, we went home and started making our list of 300 names. We got to about 150 and we got stuck. We had already pulled out wedding list. We'd pulled out yearbooks. We'd pulled out church directories, neighborhood directories, family list, other family members' wedding list. We had gone through everything. And we thought they were going to tell us that we couldn't do the business. Because we called them and said, hey, we've got 150, but we're out of names. We're done. They said, no problem. We're going to give you or get out your yellow pages, Bell South yellow pages. And my first reaction was, no way. There's no way I'm going to do the New York stockbroker dialing for dollars, just calling people I don't know. And they said, no. You know so many more people than you think you know. This is an exercise to help you remember people that are in your relational capital. They're in that asset, but you just don't remember them. So we started with accountants and barbers and chiropractors and doctors and exterminators and farmers and garage door salesmen. And, went through the alphabet. And believe it or not, we got 300 names pretty quick. I can give you one illustration I remember so well. Got to hardware stores, and I remembered hardware stores in the Yellow Pages. Now, I remember the guy that had sold me a green Lawn Boy lawnmower when I had a lawn service when I was in high school. You become a customer. So, it's not as hard as you think it is, okay? And you don't have to use the Yellow Pages anymore. We have a list of all these categories. Some of you don't even know what a Yellow Pages is, but they do still exist online, I think. But they used to literally drop off on our front porch a book in Atlanta that was like that thick. It was crazy. But these are all the categories, and this is available on, if you use boards, which most of us do, it's available under Getting Started on boards, but we've made an easy link for you to download this category list, like all the categories in the Yellow Pages. Just go to makealife.com/who do I know, and you can download this document, okay? All right, let's keep going. So now that you've made your list, and I want you to, let's go back one screen here. Whoops. Once you've used this tool to make your list and come up with all your names, just make sure you're not trying to pre-qualify them now. You're just dumping names on paper, okay? Literally dumping names on paper. We're not trying to decide who will and who won't right now. We're just dumping names on paper, okay? But we do have to get organized. And I don't care how you do it. I honestly don't. I'm going to show you a cool technology tool tonight. But I've got people, and I can see in the comments on the line tonight, that took 11 years to make national marketing director. And I still have saved from when they faxed me. Hey, anybody still have a fax machine? I don't have one anymore, but I can get faxes in my email. But when I first got started, that was my biggest, most scary expense. I leased on 24 monthly payments a fax machine for $1,800. That was my first expense in the business. Crazy, huh? Seems like days of the dinosaurs. But that person sent me their memory jogger on a legal pad, list of names. There are people that I've talked to are on the line today that used index cards, and they put one name per index card. I have people that were Post-it note, fanatics. And I went to their house, and they had their little office in their bedroom, and they had Post-it notes everywhere with their prospect list. And today, I'm going to show you something. And we got people using Teamsy, all different kind of things. But today, I'm going to show you a tool that we've created that I think is the best way to do it. But this is not a course in technology. I'm going to give you a tool that I think will make it more efficient for you. But you can use your legal pad, your actual physical memory jogger document you can download from the hub, index cards, Post-it notes, Teamsy. You just have to do it and get organized, okay? I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but you got to do it, okay? And it has to be a dynamic, growing, changing list. It's not static. Now, you're going to be able to go to them, and I'll give you a link. But this is dummy data on here. But this is a spreadsheet. It's funny because, let me go back one. The same person that gave me this legal pad for their memory jogger sponsored someone who sent me their memory jogger on their phone with a Google Doc. Just in one generation removed, it went from a legal pad to a Google Doc on a phone. So it's easy to change. So this is what that Google spreadsheet would look like on your computer. Okay. The name, obviously you got names on the left, and then the most critical data is the columns. Follow the columns, because whatever tool you use, you need these columns for each name. Phone number, so it's easy to call them. Email, so it's easy to reach out to them. It's good to know the city and state so you can sort your list by where they're from when you've got events and meetings coming up. How you know them, this is pretty important. Neighbor, family, what's your connection to them? And most people that you have in your life, they have a preferred way you reach out to them. Like your next door neighbor, you might holler across the driveway when you're getting your mail. Somebody you work out with at the gym, you might text them. A business colleague, you might email them. A family member, you might phone them. Somebody else, or a classmate from school, you might Facebook Messenger them. Okay? So, how you know them is important, and how you communicate with them, because you don't want to go into a whole new way of communicating. You want to stick with it. So, this is a way you can begin to dump your names. I would love for everybody to get 300. But let's make sure. Can we just agree that we're all going to shoot for at least 100? Okay? 300, you're my hero. 100, you're at least getting your list ready to roll. Okay? All right, next. Here's one of the most important reasons I'm using Google Docs. Okay, let me ask you this question. How many of you have been on some of the coaching calls I've been doing? Start Well, Finish Strong. Thumbs up if you've been on there. I'd love to just kind of get a feel for who on here tonight's been on some of those calls. It'd be great for me to know. So if I go back one slide, do you see the little people, the blue people icon in the top? That's how you can share this document, okay? And sharing of this document makes your memory jogger have superpowers. Now, you can share a copy of your legal pad. Make a copy. Take a picture with your phone, send it to them. I don't care. But your upline, somebody that's going to do three-way calls with you, that's going to help you set goals every month, that's going to hold you accountable, you need to share your memory jogger with them. At least that one person. Maybe all 5 people above you that get paid to help you. We talked about that a lot too. Now, when you share this document, you're going to create it, share it, and then do your phone call together and go over it. Remember, I couldn't get my starter kit until I shared mine. So your upline needs to be available for you to share this with them. Now, everybody has a Google account. If you've done YouTube, you have a Gmail account, or you've searched in Google, you can log into Google. You got a Google account. And all this stuff is free. This Google Sheet's free. It's free to share it, free to have it. So, but remember, this is not a technology course. I don't care how you do it, but your memory jogger has superpowers when you share it. Bring in an expert and have accountability. Okay? Let me stop and tell you one thing. Let me see. I'm going to share this here or later. I'm going to share it now. One of the reasons we're doing this is you are looking for what I call persons of peace. You're trying to find people to go build your business with that are not just going to become customers, although there's tons of customers on your memory jogger. So everybody on there is a potential customer. There's a group of people on there that you may want to go to about the business first, because you got to find your 5 key people to go build your business to reach the top leadership levels in our company. And let me tell you what you're looking for on this list. Once you make your list, and we're going to talk about this later. And okay, here's my biblical example. Jesus, before he left this earth, we just had Easter, after he was resurrected, he left the earth. Right before, he sat down and had a chit chat with his disciples, the people he was closest to, that were following him, that knew he was their leader. He said, I'm about to leave. Let me tell you what you got to do. You got to go out into these towns and spread the good news. And he said, I want you to go, and this is going to help you if you're on your list, people that are out of town. If you're going to go find somebody and build your business out of town, I want you to go there, and I want you to find somebody that when you knock on their door, they say, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited about what you're doing. They open their house, they feed you, they resource you to help you spread your message and your mission. If they don't do that, you know what he said do? Shake the dirt off your feet and go to the next house. So you're going to use this memory jogger to find those 5 amazing people that are persons of peace that are going to equip you and help you build your business. Because when you go out and share this amazing product with people, you've got a message of inspiring healthy living around the world. And you can share that message. But when you learn to multiply that message, you multiply your business, you multiply your income instead of adding to your income. So you're looking for other people to message what you already know how to message. And this memory jogger is going to make that come alive, okay? So we got to be patient with these names and working with our relational capital. The average sale closes on the 5th conversation or later. It takes at least 5 interactions. 5th conversation or later. Got to fix that font there. Sorry that it says sale E, but it's supposed to say sale. You cannot propose on the first date. It doesn't work. So don't get frustrated and try and close the sale, recruit the person on the first, conversation. It takes multiple conversations. It takes a system. It takes follow-up. Most sales occur on the 5th conversation or after. How many of you did the Ditch the Pitch course with, what was that guy's name? Steve Yastro. He taught us, the company had that course in our curriculum for a while, and he taught us that we couldn't propose on the first date. He showed us that. So, we've developed this part of this little memory jogger tool, and I'm just going to go over this quickly. And again, if you're using legal pad, if you're using index cards, or you're using post-it notes, they all work. It's fine. But you're going to open this document up. You're going to go there yourself, make a copy. And this is just an example sheet. You can just delete it once you open it. So once you understand how it works. And there's a blank memory jogger right there for you. And you just begin dumping names. Just dumping names. And you'll see when you get there, there's some more. You got a basic list. You can expand it. And we show you how to do that. You can expand it, and you've got more features like, are they a prospect? Are they a customer? You can change their status, and we'll go over that later. But all that's there to make it even more detailed if you want it. But what I want you to think about is, what are some daily things that you can do with your memory jogger that are way bigger and above just making it? So I have a quiet time every morning. I teach that. I love to do that. I think it's a difference in somebody who's productive and not productive. They get up, they put the right fuel in their mind, their body, their spirit in the morning, so that their car, their cup is full. So when they run into the relationships in their life, they're overflowing with good stuff. And that quiet start allows you to do that. That quiet start allows me to think about the relationships in my life. You think about the roles that you play: husband, father, son, daughter, partner, upline, downline. And you begin to think of people. When I started my business, I had one prayer, and I would pray, God, bring the people in that you want me to work with, but help the ones that you don't want me to partner with to run as fast as they can in the other direction. So daily I would be thinking of new names, and I would add and update my memory jogger. One of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to prioritize your prospects, because every day you need to make 3 types of contacts from your memory jogger. You need to make cold contacts. And that doesn't mean they're cold like you don't know them. It means they're cold that you've never talked to them about Juice Plus before. You're starting a new conversation. It may still be the 5th conversation with that person before you close, but you're starting a new conversation. So how many of those are you going to make? You got to make so many cold conversations a day, so many warm conversations. That's follow-up. That's people you've already initiated the conversation with. It could be that 2nd, 3rd, or 4th interaction. It could be answering a question. It could be getting more information to them. So you got to make so many warm follow-up kind of phone calls every day to prospects, customers, and partners. And then the easy calls are the hot phone calls you make every day. And those are the ones they're already a customer, they're already a partner, and you're edifying, equipping, training, motivating, encouraging people that are already on your team. If you're part-time, I would do at least 2 of each of those every day. If you're full-time, I'd be doing 5 to 10 of each of those every day. Okay? That sounds like high speed coming out of COVID, but that's what we normally did before COVID. Part-timers were making 2 cold, 2 warm, 2 hot contacts every day. Full-time people, they were making 5, 10 of each of those contacts every day, okay? So You got to prioritize your prospects, and you got to make sure you're doing that every day. Now, one of the most amazing things is that on this memory jogger, there is a column for next step. And when you go over this memory jogger, you share it with your upline, your mentor, and you begin to go over this list, at least through the first 35, 40, or 50 names. You're going to talk to them. And let's say I'm on the phone with you and your name's Jane. Jane, tell me about this first name on your list. Tell me about Johnny. Well, Johnny's my neighbor. He plays with his kids in the yard all the time. They're active, outdoors kind of people. And I know they love their kids. They're a great family. And so I said, well, you know what? You need to tell them about the Healthy Starts for Families. Their kids could get it for free. So the next step, that's what we write down in that column. Okay, Jane, who is Sally? Sally, I work out with at the gym. Awesome. Do you ever take a smoothie to the gym with you, Sally? Sure. Well, why don't you tomorrow, are you going to the gym tomorrow? Yep. You think Sally will be there? Yep. Why don't you make 2 smoothies, one for you and take one for them, and share it with Sally when you get there? That will be a good next step with Sally. So every name on that list, through like the first, let's say 50, Jane is going to describe that person, how they know them, and we're going to write down what Jane's next step is with every one of those first 50. She might say, I say, Jane, who is Allison? I would love to have Allison on my team. She's an amazing real estate agent. She's a go-getter. She's just super sharp, but she values her time. She doesn't want a boss, and I know she would love this business. I said, why don't you and I do a 3-way phone call with Allison and just tell Allison that, that you've got somebody you would love for her to meet because you're a go-getter and he is too, and I want him to tell you what I'm doing because I'm so excited about it. So the next step by Allison's name would be 3-way phone call. So all 50 would have next steps. And then once you've done 35, 40, or 50 of them, you can do the rest of them yourself. You will have taught them how to do it by doing the first 35 or 40 with them. So now every name on their list has a next step ready to roll. Okay? And one of the other things is you're scheduling follow-ups every day. And this memory jogger will have a way you can sort the list by the people you haven't talked to in the last 30 days. So if your last interaction with them was more than 30 days, those are the ones you know. I've forgotten about them. They've dropped off the radar. I need to reach out to them, okay? So they're there. So when we talk about knowing what you're going to do with every person on that list, this is where stolen moments become so valuable. We're all busy, guys. Everybody you know is busy. And people that are busy are more successful at this business than the ones that are sitting on their couch pouting and complaining, I don't know what I can do. I don't have a job. I don't know what to do. Or they're still binging Netflix and haven't realized that the pandemic is over. Now you want busy people. And if you've got a list like this that's dynamic and active and updated, and you've got 10 minutes in a carpool line, you can make 2 phone calls, send 3 texts, because you know exactly what you have to do with so many people on your list. So all of a sudden, stolen moments, when normally right now you'd have to think about, go look up, find somebody to reach out to. If your list is ready, that stolen moment becomes 3 conversations instead of fumbling maybe to find one or just not doing it because you can't find somebody. So your stolen moments become super productive. Third part of this is you got to make a plan. And we've been doing this, but we haven't focused on this tool. We've been talking about managing your month. This memory jogger is going to bring the who, not just the what and how, into your month. These people are the big rocks. They're the seeds you're planting. Starting well is all about who are the people on this memory jogger, your active, living, breathing accounting statement of your relational capital. Who are you going to invest this month into this process of managing your month, sharing our product, sharing our business? Prior to this, some of you may have But most of you were at a place where people ask Jim Collins this question in his book, Good to Great. They wanted to know, hey, Jim, tell me what things this company did to go from good to great. What resources did they use? What did they do? What were they good at? Tell me so I can get good at those things. And he gave an amazing answer. He said, this is the problem. The companies that went from good to great didn't solely work on their skills. They didn't just have a bus that was clean and bright and shiny and full of gas and worked great and the driver was certified. No, they didn't just have a good bus and know how to drive it. The companies that went from good to great, they made sure they had a full bus. They worried about who was on the bus before they worried about polishing the bus and the details and everything. They wanted a full bus to take people where they wanted them to go. And I think a lot of people try and learn the skills of this business, and they don't learn to invest the people into this business. Number one, so they can have healthier, amazing families, flood their bodies with fruits and vegetables. But you got to go find 5 amazing leaders to build this business with. So this is our plan. We're starting well and finishing strong, using urgency at the end of the month to destroy procrastination. We're utilizing our support team with this memory jogger, sharing it with at least one person that's your expert in your upline, probably with your partner, your sponsor too, if they're not that person, because they're learning and growing with you. And then your other members of your support team, you can share it with them too, but you really want one that's going to make 3-way phone calls, that's going to pour into this with you and hold you accountable. Use the tools. Boards is my favorite tool. We've got the hub, we've got social media tools, but your upline national marketing director can plug you into a board that's a tool, it's an app, it's on your phone, that's on your computer, that has all of our resources in one place. And we can do a training and a talk on that at one point in time too in the future. Stacy Whitmer, and I think somebody with her, I'm not sure who I think it may be Wendy McGlawn. I think they're going to do a training on that at conference at one of the learning labs. I think that's main stage. But have a growth mindset. Even if you don't break new records every month, just grow a little bit. Grow your business, grow your memory jogger, grow these activities, grow your paycheck. And then the whole thing is we're trying to grow our business so that we can make a life, not just make a living. It's not just a title of my book. That's what we all want to do. We don't want to trade hours for dollars and be known when we retire for having made a living and our life was put on hold that we wanted to craft and create and live. The saddest thing for me in our society is this mess we've gotten into where so many of us have bought into funding retirement, working, making a living, creating a paycheck to fund a 401k or some retirement plan so that when you're 65 or 70, you can have a nice boat. You can do fun things. You can enjoy life because you've got time availability and a pot of money. But what about the first 64 years of your life when your kids were young and vibrant and you were young and vibrant? Why did you want to wait? You don't have to. And that's what our business is all about. It's all about creating time freedom, financial freedom, so that we can take our purpose and our passion in life and pursue it, because our business is the foundation of that, not the biggest obstacle. Okay? Now, wow, this font is messed up again here. So if you can read that link says makealife.com/coaching calendar. So whenever we schedule a coaching call like this, or our start the month, finish the month coaching calls, if you go to that link, makealife.com/coaching calendar, let me see if I can make that, if I can move that. Maybe I can. Nope, that didn't work. Oh well. Maybe it'll work here. Nope. Anyway, makealife.com/coaching calendar. It'll add all those events to your calendar. When we add a new one, you won't have to go find it. It'll automatically put it on your calendar if you subscribe to it. Just something we did for you in case you want to use that. So let's leave with a message and a mission here. I would really like for each and every one of you, if you're going to conference before you get there, if you're not going to conference by the end of the weekend, make you start today and make you a living, growing, daily, something you touch daily memory jogger. Whether it's on your legal pad, the founder of our company, he managed billion-dollar business and plans and goals. He was a legal pad master. You can use index cards. You can use Teamsy. You can use a Google Sheet. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. Whatever works for you. But the important thing is whatever you use, it needs to be shareable, and you need to be willing to bring accountability into the picture. Okay? But I promise you, if when you have moments in your life that are those stolen moments, if you've got an organized list of people you can text, call, message, Voxer, Zoom, whatever it is, and you're ready and you know what the next step is, it's a game changer for your business. Okay? We're going to have some more training, but I think it's live now. Hope, can you confirm? I think makealife.com/memoryjogger is live now. Maybe Hope can check that and we can see. But it should be live, and you can go there. You can go look at that memory jogger we talked about, that template. It's a template. You download it and create your own copy. And let's not procrastinate. Let's know that we have almost 3 weeks left in this month. And Hope says it's live. It's ready. Makealife.com/memoryjogger. You can, the link to the Google Sheets there, a little bit about relational capital is there. And we just want to bless you with this tool, with this principle. And let's go out and let's invest our most valuable asset, our relational capital. Let's bring accountability into that. Let's use a memory jogger to create an accounting and a statement of where we're at with that relational capital. And then let's invest it every day. God doesn't bring relationships in your life for nothing. Why don't you take that relationship and explore what can happen when you all pursue something together? It's way more than you could do alone. It will let you multiply your business, not just add to your business. I'm super excited about that for all of you guys. And the replay of this is going to be available here on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch. And I will have this video updated and put on the website on that makealife.com/memoryjogger page too. Okay? Thanks for being with us. Thanks for putting up with my voice. We made it. Now I need to gargle with something because the pollen or something from the Masters and crazy weather got me. But thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate you guys. See a lot of you in Phoenix next week. Bye-bye.